I was super skeptical of this thing. It's an inflatable hot tub. I was like, how good can this thing be? But to me, this is top 5 best things that I've ever purchased in my entire life. Wait till you see this thing.
All right.
This unit is the Saluspa Hawaii. I got it on sale. It was under $700. Okay, so to me, I was like, I walked by this thing in Home Depot. I saw it. I was like, for $700, like it's an inflatable hot tub. I'll give it a try, see what's happening here. Now, it goes from box to inflated in literally under 10 minutes.
And it sounds like you're like, even if it lasts one season, what's the harm?
That's exactly, that was my exact logic. I'm like, I've always wanted a hot tub, but to get into that market, it's like at the bare minimum $6,000. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's a big commitment. I don't have $6,000 that I can just be like, yeah, on a whim, get a hot tub. 700? Sure, why not?
It looks big.
Okay, it's actually quite large. It says on the box that the unit can actually hold 4 to 6 adults. I don't think so. I'm comfortable with 2 in there. Max, if you're like, honey, I would go in there with you.
Still only 2 people.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I would go in there with like you, my partner, your partner, for max. But even that is like pushing it. To me, I'm quite comfortable with 2. When I was buying this, I was like, I've heard a lot of things about hot tubs. I heard there are a lot of maintenance. I got this whole kit at Canadian Tire. It's a spa kit that comes with like everything that you need. Plus these test strips that test like the pH balance, the alkalinity, like all that kind of stuff. And it makes it so it's like you just dip it in the water, you test it, you see what it needs, you add what it needs. It's like so easy.
Cool.
I know it. I also think anything that color changes is quite fun.
Yeah, that's what I would be worried about too, is not knowing how to handle this.
Exactly, but that thing basically tells you what it needs. So I was low on bromine there. I added another bromine puck.
Cool.
Okay, so it's very easy. There's literally like the filter that's below that thing, and that area is where you hold the bromine pucks. That's the chlorine. And the filter, this is after I clean the filter every single week, and I just clean it with a hose.
Oh.
Okay, so this is 1 week's worth of like dirt. That's like what has been like sucked up from the actual hot tub. You just clean it with a hose, and then once look at how crystal clean it gets again.
Cool.
Once it starts to discolor a little bit, you just replace those.
Now what's this thing going in there?
Okay, this thing is actually very fun. It's a vacuum.
It looks like
cool
an
vacuum.
underwater broom.
Yeah, it basically is, but it's like an underwater vacuum, basically. I do this once a week. You don't have to do this, but I am like very particular about keeping this thing clean.
Okay, so my question to you is, can you like swim to the other side, or is it just like a sitting and enjoying type situation?
Okay, like most hot tubs, it's a sitting and enjoying type situation.
So it's
but
you're not gonna just like release your inner child and just like
you can
do cannonballs.
You can if you're just one person in there.
Yeah.
You technically could, but I also use this skimmer just to skim off a little bit of like stuff that gets in there, like like those like dandelion things. Those are like rampant in my neighborhood right now.
Yeah.
So I just like use that skimmer to get it off, and then occasionally I'll add a little bit of water just to keep it full, because when you get in, there's always like some sloshing around and whatnot, water coming in. So I just add a little bit of water every now and then as needed.
So does it show you like a fill line? Like,
Yep.
when you're making a cup of coffee?
It's right there. It's right there.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yep.
because I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so then I also just get like a little chamois and wipe down the outside like every now and then, because again, I'm very crazy about keeping this thing clean.
Is the side hard? Like, how do you, or am I gonna sit on the side and mush it back?
That's what I thought. When you think inflatable hot tub, you think of like a child's pool.
Yeah, and I'm picturing all those like mishap videos you see online where people are like drunk and falling out of them.
No, this thing basically feels like a massive basketball. It feels like that hard.
Weird.
I included this because this is my favorite feature that didn't come with the hot tub.
It's like a disco ball.
It's like a disco ball fountain. So this is when the fountain's not turned on. But I was like, I want a hot tub that has colorful lights.
Why not?
It doesn't come with it, so I just got this thing on Amazon. That thing was $54.99. It's called the Land Pool Floating Pool Fountain with LEDs. I think that's mandatory for this.
If that's not a millennial Saturday night,
that's
I don't know what is.
But I wanted to know, when I bought this thing, how quick does it actually heat up? So when I initially inflated it, it took 24 hours for it to get to temperature. This thing reaches hot tub temperature. It reaches 104. It stays at 104. until you get in. It drops a little bit when you get in. The most it's changed when I've been in there, it's gotten to 99, which is still super hot. What I also love about this is that, look, I'm removing the cover by myself. It's super easy. The clasps that keep the actual cover on, it gets super windy in my neighborhood, and it's never once shifted or moved or anything like that. It literally like stays put, and it's easy to put back on. It's easy to take off. Everything about this is super, super easy.
It seems like it.
Some pros: the hot tub itself is hard and it's sturdy. Like I said, it feels as hard as a basketball. You can actually sit along the side if you don't want to go in and just put your feet in.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe because it looks mushy.
It's super like rock hard. If you kicked it on the side, you could stub your toe. It's that hard.
Weird.
The keypad is very user friendly. It's just a little push keypad that's where the actual pump and what runs the hot tub itself is. It has two drink compartments. I've never used it. I actually just bought a floatable drink thing.
Cool.
That you can like put on the inside, because like when you're in there, you don't want to be holding your drink the whole time.
Yeah.
You want it like floating around.
Won't that heat up your drink though?
Not if you put it in like a Yeti, which mine's always in a Yeti usually. But see, look, so these are the bromine tabs. That's about after a week's worth of use. They obviously disintegrate as like the product is going into the hot tub, and it's really easy. You just take a little look at that, put it back in. I do it while I'm in there sometimes. It's so easy. Like I'm gonna say it's easy like 20 times during this, because I was always told hot tubs are like, they're a lot of work, they're a lot of maintenance. This thing is fun to maintain. Like I actually enjoy using the skimmer, and it's very simple to maintain.
I always thought hot tubs were too, and I've always heard like hot tubs can reduce the value of your house because no one wants to deal with them when you don't want them anymore because you have to pay to get them removed.
Phenomenal point though, because if that is the case, you friggin' deflate this thing and it's good to go.
It'll slash it with a knife and a single. I don't know why I had to go into such an aggressive territory.
That was a horror movie territory.
But you get rid of it. And it's like no big deal.
So I placed mine on a little pad of rocks, okay? So those are just like regular rocks that you can get like from your local hardware store, as well as a tarp underneath just for some extra padding. You don't need to do that, but I just did it because I was like worried. I'm like, are one of the rocks gonna puncture the actual hot tub? But it's like very hard to puncture this thing. I was worried about this is that there aren't any defined seats. So when you think of a hot tub, you think of like those like grooved seats, but this doesn't have that. So I was like, well, how comfortable is that gonna be? It is super plush and comfy on the bottom. You don't need those seats. That you can buy an attachment actually that you can place into it. I don't think it's necessary.
So are you sitting on the bottom?
Yeah, you are, but it like floats you up a little bit. So like you're borderline sitting on the bottom, but it's just such a good feeling in there. It's literally.
Why have I not been in it yet?
Come in, buddy. Come in with me. Why are we not doing this review from the hot tub? The bubbles. I was like, well, it's an inflatable hot tub. Again, how strong can the bubbles be? The bubbles are powerful. They are very powerful, and they're a little bit loud. Like any water feature, it's loud.
So it's nice that it's like your own hot tub.
Yes.
You're only in there. You know it's clean.
Are you not pleased with how clean I keep that?
Yes.
Also love that this thing can fit in any size backyard. As you can see, my backyard is a little teeny tiny postage stamp in a suburban area, and all the backyards are very, very tiny. To me, what I love about this is that it can fit anywhere. Also, just can't explain how fantastic it feels when you first initially get it. There is nothing like that feeling of getting in. It's like so hot but so soothing. It's literally, and like when you have like a cold beverage with you, it literally is like the best feeling in the world. I didn't think that I'd be ever experiencing that in my tiny backyard, but it literally feels incredible. You gotta feel it to believe it. For under $1,000, you could feel that way too.
Why not?
All the products that I used in this video, we're gonna link it all in the description box below so you can get it too if you've had your eye on these things. And if you own one of these, let me know what your game changer accessories, because to me, the fountain is mandatory.
It looks like it would be.
To me, this entire thing is mandatory. Get one this summer. It's the ultimate accessory to your backyard.